Islam Dwayne. It is April the 21st, 2020. I'm doing this video. I'm outside of Whole Foods, so I can upload it quickly. So anyway, I want to start off by saying, everybody's supposed to wear masks when they come in the restaurants and the grocery stores now. I think I found this out last Friday. This day is the 21st, 2020, last Friday. So I have to be careful at Burger King because sometimes I'm so used to seeing the regular face, somebody can easily come in with no mask, and I'm still getting used to the new rules. But anyway, let me get to what I'm trying to tell you. Dwayne, I was just reading your tweets, and you spoke about karmic debt, and a lot of times I hear karma, and I hear the definition of karma. I'm going to start off telling you what caused me to want to give love to you, or what touched my heart. I remember when I would listen to the conference call. This is before you became a sheik, and I would hear you talk, and I was like, and because I knew when I knew it was you, I was like, this is the man, and I was so happy. It was something inside of me. I was just like so happy to hear him speak, and it's like I could hear the integrity in your voice, the fight in your voice, and also I heard a lot of humility, humbleness in your voice. But I didn't know hardly anything, or it's still now I don't know anything. Like they say, when you think you know something, you know nothing at all. And so when you would do things, let me know that you and I were connected, or that you were the person that I was connected to. That was a form of integrity, because we met. And you were the first I ever went into Sacred Grove with. The very first. Never in my life I've done that. Now, I have, like, with my eyes open, especially just, because I was celibate years before I met you, physically. Now, I have, like, visualized, just a figure, but never tuck it to a place where I'm in a different plane. Never. Ever. So you were the first. So how we met, it was special to me. It was so special, and I was thinking to myself, when I would listen to the conference call, Moorish American National Republic conference call, and I realized we connect, and I knew it was you. I was like, he didn't have to do that. He has integrity. And then as we continued to connect, I was like, this guy, this more, he's good, and even when I found out that you found someone else interesting, and it hurt, and then you came to me with an open heart, and we connect again. We consummated our marriage. I didn't even realize what that meant, consummating our marriage in the Sacred Grove. But I knew it was important because I did things with you with other Moors around that I'd never done before. So, but when I did this, I found it was, so what I'm trying to say is to understand what status was as a Moabite or a Moorish American woman. I didn't know, but I knew I loved. And I knew there was something about you that I knew a long time ago. I knew years, or I want to say lifetimes before. And when I would hear you speak with integrity on the conference call, it just really touched my heart. And then when it seemed like we were being pushed away, and you were still trying to fight to stay connected to me, it really made me feel well. It felt good, and it made me want to fight even more. So, because I was like, who is this man? This more, not just because I know what I knew, but this is before you became a sheik. this is before I mean, I didn't know you had any form of wealth until well, I would see some things on the internet, but I didn't take it seriously. I was like, well, maybe he does. I don't know. You know, I never saw the money, so I don't know. But then I would think, I think when I came to Baltimore, that's when and I came here in 2016 and 2017. That's when connecting possibly that you had wealth, you money, maybe connect. But I mean, we've been connected since 2013. So, but that didn't matter. What mattered, what really touched my heart was who you were and what you stood for. That's what really touched my heart. And so anytime, so I was always trying to do things that wouldn't embarrass you. Always trying to prove myself. It's like, gosh, who is this spirit that I love so much and that seemed like has gone out and beyond? And why did he do it for me? Unless he knows that I am definitely his wife from years before. I mean, lifetimes before. So I said, if that's not a reason to fight to stay connected, then what is? And as I was growing spiritually, I wanted to be with someone who understood, who wouldn't think I was crazy, who wouldn't accuse, who wouldn't try to put me in the same ward, a psychic ward, and so forth. I had a lot of trust in you, Dwayne. A lot of trust. So anyway, I'm not going to go there. So what I'm trying to tell you, Dwayne Arrington-Bey, is I didn't know the unclean spirits that I was among. But so I didn't know all the things that happened, and I didn't know the harm that was caused until more started to speak about it. I didn't know the importance of status. I mean, as in correcting your status, yes. As in reclaiming your nationality, correcting your social security card, your birth certificate, your ID, your passport. Yes, I learned that because we taught the classes in 2014. Imani Great-Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey. We taught the classes, so I knew about that. But the status of being your wife, I didn't have a grasp about that. All I knew is that I loved, and we were connecting in the sacred grove almost every night, every day. When I was out, I felt your presence. When I slept, I felt your presence. And I prayed for you, and I prayed, and I was like, I love this spirit. We connected almost I would not say every single day, almost every single day. Because I remember one time I was upset, and I was mad, or not mad, but upset. And I just said, I don't know if and this is when I thought possibly I was being tricked. I had been tricked, but I wasn't sure. And I didn't know what to think. So I stayed away from the sacred grove. And then I remember you connected with me and said, why, you led me to come back to you. And I did. I came back to you because I loved and I trust you. What I'm trying to tell you, Dwayne, is it's not easy on this road. We all have things we want to clear up. I think every individual more is on a different road in reference to spirituality. I'm speaking as a student because I don't know everything. I'm just giving you what's in my heart. I'm speaking to you in sincerity and in humility. Every more is on a different road. And they are on different levels, and some wars are more advanced in reference to metaphysics, science, national law. Some wars are more advanced in exoteric knowledge. Some wars are more advanced in knowing the importance of the higher self and the lower self, their divinity. So every more is on a different road. But what I do know is that in that road, wherever the road is, there's always that science, or I mean not science, that seed of purity that exists. Purity. And 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 I don't know the background of every Moor, but I know that this spirit of purity is real. It's real. It is so real. And I know when you plant seeds, and you plant seeds in a pure heart, so you plan to do something with someone, but you know that there is something that you look forward to enjoying, not at the end, but just further down the line. I see you have to plant seeds in order for that energy to reciprocate or recycle or manifest the way it should. So that when you are at that point and you have planted that seed and you are ready to receive those blessings, it flows freely. So I don't know what caused you. When I met you, Dwayne, my genitals, this is in 2013, my genitals was not being attacked spiritually. I never experienced sharp pains. I didn't have black Negroes, unclean spirits saying brother, females and males acting like they want to rape, or these are unclean demonic spirits I speak of. Well, they want to hold me down in demonic grave bay down and rape us spiritually and physically. I never had my genitals attacked. Never. I know the matrix or the matrix have changed, and the more awareness of people, of consciousness of what's going on, the more they had it, the more it changed up, so that so they can normalize harm, normalize terrorism, normalize being out of natural law, normalize being out of constitutional law, normalize being a threat to the universe or outside of that energy that should be harmonizing with the universe and the earth. So to normalize this, they have to. It starts with thoughts and deeds and words. So what I'm trying to say is, because I'm one of the ones who didn't know about it. And I'm here and I'm seeing, and one of my main things I try to do, unless I am attacked and I'm trying to defend myself, which then I call on the Quranic verse, Surah 2, Ayat 190, 191, is not to cause harm, but that does not mean that I'm supposed to allow myself to be raped, spiritually, if I can, allow myself to be harmed physically. That doesn't mean I lay down and just allow these things to happen. Those acts are outside of natural law, which that includes freedom, love, true peace, freedom, and justice. So one of the things I know since my consciousness changed, and I'm one of the ones who didn't know about the unclean and demonic spirits, is that to cause harm is not in that manifestation that I wanted in my life. It's not. So, and I could see this in 2011, and when my consciousness changed. And when I was with you in 2013 and 2014, and I was going to Sacred Grove, I felt that connection with you of not wanting to cause harm, but I was hurting because I wanted to be with you on the physical plane. I wanted to meet this spirit who I love and who I believe loved me. So I drove after sending Abbas to New York, later I drove up to New York, and I drove up there to be with you. It's not that I didn't love my son Abbas Malik Bey, of course, but I was under the impression that he was okay and well. I could see him. I raised Abbas Malik Bey since he was up until he was 14, pretty much by myself. Masal Bey, his father, and he was around some of the times, but a lot of times he was not around like he should. So, I had Abbas Malik Bey since he was a baby up until he was 14 years old. His father was going through challenges, and so we both were, but are still, but on different levels. So it's not when I came to New York. It's not that I didn't love Abbas Malik Bey and didn't want to be with him, even though I knew I felt something was, but I didn't know the intense or what was going on with him. I didn't know what we were among. That we were among spirits that their main goal is to transform natural divine beings into something that's unnatural, outside of natural law, so they can slave breed, use their bodies, just make them into a form of a robot, something that's outside of natural law. I had no idea. And this is definitely a goal and an agenda, keeping that energy of unnatural law or outside of natural law, recycling, keeping the frequency low of the earth and the universe. I had no idea. So why would I, if I didn't know about the danger he was in? I'm thinking he's with his dad. He hasn't been with his dad in years. When I drove up to New York in that freezing cold, I drove to see you. I wanted to be with you. You knew this, and we connected in New York. I was so happy. But once again, my heart was about to bust because I was being exposed to a reality, a true reality. So, and now I'm still being exposed, learning that even, you have experiments with dogs that are not natural dogs. You have experiments with cats that are not natural cats. They're coming from a host. Other experiments with food. We are among the difference between organic and non-organic food. So you have elephants, and and then we have people who obviously is definitely targeted to transform them outside of natural law, making them into some form of technology, a beast, an animal, so they can be used. So what I'm trying to tell you is, after that, New York, and we left, I still didn't know. So when I saw Abbas, when he came to Annapolis, Maryland, and he demonstrated who he was, which was not Abbas, it broke my heart. It didn't break it, but it hurt my heart. My heart is still here. It hurt my heart. I'm his mom. I breastfed him, Dwayne. I breastfed him for 5.5 months. I drove him back to school to keep him in good schools. I could have put him on the bus so he could go to another school that was in the district. But it was important for me to keep him in a school with high standards. So I got up early in the morning, made sure I used to run out of gas sometimes trying to get my son to a decent school. The best schools that Cobb County had to offer. I fed him. I love him. So when I sent Abbas to be with his father, it wasn't that I was being so selfish and just loving you. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I had him since I was 14, since he was 14, up until he was 14 years old. So I'm thinking, okay, his dad wants him to come. I didn't know I thought his dad seemed to be doing well. Why not? He's 14. He's grown into a young man. Why not let him be with his father? And then I was so happy to spend so much time with you. So happy, and I loved. So what I'm trying to get at to you, Dwayne, or trying to convey, this has not been an easy road, and it wasn't easy to videotape my son in those actions and those behaviors, but my spirit told me to. I need to give testimony about this, and I need to be strong as I give testimony about it. It's not easy telling my son, because I know his true self is not there anymore on the phone. I don't call me no more, because I know he's not only a danger to me if staying connected, because that's why he was removed from my place here. He became violent. So he had to be removed because he wasn't himself. He's been transformed spiritually. It wasn't easy to say, don't call me no more. It's not easy seeing a letter come to me from the hospitals, of all the hospitals that they put him in, knowing how the system works and how the game is, how they just using bodies and the true self, and tapping into that sacred aspect of the mind, so they can possess and use the body, just recycle them in a system. And I'm receiving these letters coming from different places, psychiatric wards, saying different things. But I already know the truth of what happened and what's going on, because they gave him the science of telepathy and plus other things. He was molested. He was raped. That video, he was only 19. Spiritually, the same spirits that I'm among now here in Annapolis, that be brother, the pale skin, the Spanish speaking, these are the same type of spirits that raped, molest him, and attacked him. The same ones that I have to sleep like to protect Imani and protect myself at night, because they invading my dreams, trying to rape and molest, saying I love you. It's the same spirits that attacked him as a natural divine being, Arrington-Bey, a natural divine celestial being. He is, or he was while he was here on the earth, and he is still. It's the same. These spirits, so I don't have much empathy for them, because I know I'm among unclean demonic spirits. And I don't know if in understanding how all this is connected to bondage, and that the true battle is against that which is of natural law, which consists of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Our Moorish American flag, which that represents, that's the threat. That's what they're threatened by. Then it's self-explanatory. Seeing him send $50 to me, and he didn't put a return, but I know when you're dealing with spirits that you're trying to use a body, they're trying to use a body, And they're trying to connect and engage any way they can to normalize a presence in your life, in your world. They will attack the children first, transform them, make them into something, so they can get to the parents. It's possibly. There's different ways to amalgamate and slavery natural divine beings with unclean demonic spirits. Many ways. Unnatural spirits. So getting to what I'm trying to say is, it has not been easy, Dwayne. It has not been an easy road, and you know, and sometimes I used to feel slight. I was like, gosh, you know, I sent my son up there, and I was loving Dwayne by Arrington-Bey all this time, and he was going through so much because I'm experiencing sharp pains. I wasn't, my genitals weren't being attacked when I first met you. Okay, so this happened gradually. It's like and then the thoughts were, you releasing. Why are you releasing? I never divorced you, Dwayne. The wise man said we don't believe in divorce. So why would you go through a timeline of releasing to allow harm towards a woman who loves you? I didn't understand that. Never I had to deal with my dreams being invaded while I'm sleeping. Why would this why is this happening? And this is in connection to freedom, Dwayne. Freedom. So in reference, why, you know, I know. So what I'm saying is, Dwayne, even if you didn't love me, but just the fact to know that we are one spirits, who their main goal is to transform natural divine beings, because their main attack is against those natural laws of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Freedom. Just know that that's what one of their main goals are, or is. That would be enough for you to say, I would not allow this to happen to her. I don't care what she does. Get her, you know, and if she's not if I don't want to be her husband, let's go through it the right way. I met her in the sacred grove. We married in the sacred grove. I shared my energy, my blood with you, Dwayne. You shared your energy, your blood with me. Like that should cause more status, but it does. To me, it doesn't. These are things that you do with someone that you are married to. You're married, so you do these things. So what I'm trying to say is, just the fact to know that we are one unclean demonic spirits who their main goal is to kill and destroy all that is righteous in our lives, all that is natural. I would hope that would be enough to say, I cannot allow these things to happen to her or her son Arrington-Bey, especially now knowing what you and seeing what happened to my son Arrington-Bey. And I know he's not the only one. If you're so advanced, I'm assuming you know about many people, many more that have been attacked, transformed, because you're advanced and you are knowledgeable more. And it's not just you. Many more and more American national public know of these acts that are being done. Know of these acts of terrorism, this transformation that is purposely being done. And this is and so that is what hurts. So right now, I'm not saying, so what I'm trying to say is, Dwayne, I'm not going to bring up the woman. Hold on one second. There's some parts coming. need to make sure that I want you to hear what I have to say. So what I'm trying to say is, Dwayne, it's not that I've always valued you. I always valued you. I always was thankful to be so happy to be with you. I never forget when I first came to New York and I went to Temple 13 that first night. I was so excited to try to answer a question, to try to prove, to show that I've been studying and I know what I'm talking about. But I was so tired and I was so irritated and it's like nothing I could do was ever good enough for you. I never thought about my status of being little educated. I did. Well, no, I take it back. I did. I thought about that. But then I said, well, why he's staying connected to me all this time? And then I didn't really think about the lead part, but then I did think about it. No, I take it back. And when you became a sheik, I was thinking about it, but I was like, why is he staying connected? I'm his wife. I would just stay humble and show him I love him and I'm there and I'm loyal through my thoughts. I don't look at another man. When I say loyal, it's not that I haven't gotten upset with you and I haven't questioned your acts and I haven't questioned your intentions. I haven't questioned what's in your heart. I'm saying I'm loyal as in never lust or looked at another man or another woman like, who is that? Never in my life since I've been married to you I thought that way. Never. The thought has never occurred. Now I have gone back and thought about my past experiences, connecting some dots, but never have I been back and said, gosh, I want to get with that man or that whatever. Never, ever. Even when these unclean spirits try to possess my mind to do that, it doesn't work because I'm in truth. Because I know that it's just another form of slave breeding. They trying to slave breed. Amalgamate to slave breed. So what I'm trying to say, Dwayne, is if you wanted a divorce and if I'm such a heavy weight on you, I'm hold on one second. An agent is walking by. And then it's not that so let me finish what I'm saying. When I take off my ring and I'm like, this is what I want to do, I want to offer you this divorce. It's not because I'm big and bad and I'm not cautious or fearful of what I'm among. It's because I have a family. I have my son. And I'm at the point where if Arrington-Bey is not on the same level I am, I'm not saying I'm on a higher level or lower level than you in my higher self, but we're so different, and he will allow so much harm to take place for whatever reason. I've told you all the reasons I've heard that you allowed this harm to happen, because it didn't. I didn't start when I met you. I didn't experience these things. It happened gradually. Why am I staying connected to you? If you don't want to be my husband, if you don't want to love me, what's the purpose? When I know of reincarnation, I know my spirit, my heart is telling me, stay strong. Don't be afraid of death. Prepare yourself. Don't be afraid of death. Because when you are reincarnated, those same covenants you kept and you did and you manifest before you transition, they're gonna be there when you return. That same spirit, that same energy, when you return and you that step further, if you do not ascend to where you want to be. So it's not that I have an ego and I'm just like I can handle these demonic, unclean spirits. It's like I'm just at the point where what more can I do or endure so he can see that I love, and that I loved in purity, and see the honor in him stepping up and being more than just a friend or a play friend to me, just a play friend on the computer, but stepping up and saying, I'm gonna make sure that her and her son Imani Great Hyphen are protected. I did marry this woman in a sacred grove, and no, we did not divorce like we married yet. We did not divorce, and we went through the steps, but we did not divorce. So I'm saying, what can I, if you're not willing to do these things, or even just say, well, look, you know what, I don't want to be with her. I love somebody else, and it's got to a point where I just don't want to be with her at all. But just, but I have implied to want to compensate. So I'll just give her something to just keep her out of my life. I would accept it, but that's not the goal that I was hoping for. That is not what I wanted. So the point is, I'm at the point where it's like I'm enduring so much harm, and it's obvious that sometimes you don't care. It's like, why should I? It's like I'm seeing this spirit from you. It's like, why should I honor her? She's lower status than me. She's not as advanced as me. They're so behind. Why should I honor her? I'll just create a false reality for her to make her feel good every once in a while. And that's not purity. That's not true. That's not real truth. And so in that, I'm sending you love and purity. This Sunday, when I saw those tweets, those sexual tweets, it didn't really, I looked at it, I was like, well, I prayed for him and the woman that he loved to mend if they have any problems, and for them to have peace and harmony, especially if she's in the house with you. So that didn't bother me. But what bothered me, Dwayne, was when I noticed Monday you didn't even tweet a communication with me. So that fell back to the same thoughts that, look at what he did. I mean, he's enjoying what the seeds he planted so much. He don't care, all it takes is for him to have some form of pleasure, and he doesn't care. When he's not happy, he'll come and tweet and say little words, give me that jump and boost, but he don't care. And so that's what hurt. It wasn't that I saw the tweets of you you having a sexual interaction possibly with someone that you love. I'm seeing myself as your spiritual wife, and so I know you have another spiritual wife that you say that is your spiritual wife. So I'm like, okay, that you say it is your spiritual wife, okay? So I'm like, well, yeah, I prayed. I was hoping that they would stay in harmony, because when you're not in harmony, I'm not. It makes me hurt because I'm looking at you in love. It hurts me. I'm like, I don't, and it doesn't make me feel good. I did not feel good at all. I didn't feel good for her. I didn't feel good for you. But what hurt was looking at the page the next day, and you couldn't even communicate and say the basic Islam to me in a different way, because you trying to, once again, it seemed like you trying to uphold her status. So this is why I had took off my it's not, once again, because I'm so big and bad and not afraid or have no fear of these unclean, demonic, disease. And when I say disease, I'm not talking about those that were victims of being experiencing a disease. I'm talking about those that are diseased, whether they are thinking thoughts that are unclean, they're doing actions that are unclean, they're speaking words that are unclean. Disease is not always, doesn't have to be cellular. It can be, it's energy. These are unclean spirits. I'm speaking spirit. But that too, because you do have those that are deliberately spreading diseases in that manner, and viruses purposely. So it's not that I'm not afraid of these unclean spirits that I'm among. It's because I gotta honor myself, and I have to honor my ancestors, and I have to honor my son Abbas Malik Bey, and I have to honor my other son, Imani Gray Hyphen Bay, and I have to honor all of those. Which I can't tell you how many times when I started to put the pieces together, the puzzle, to connect the dots, like how many more this has been done to. I got a family who don't even have an idea or know anything about this type of freedom that I'm trying to obtain. My grandmother had 18 kids. And then on the other side, I think it was 6. On my father's side, 18. On my mother's side, I think if I remember correctly, it's 6. And then they had cousins and aunts, and I think I'm the only one that is trying to obtain this form of freedom. All of them have been subjugated and victimized, or caught into a web before they were able to free themselves. As far as I know, they were caught and before they were able to free themselves. And that is definitely a goal, an agenda. So I'm at the point now, Dwayne, if you listening, and if you take time to really listen to this video from the beginning to the end, if you don't want me to be in your life, if I'm a laugh to you, a joke, then it's okay. I mean, I didn't think we dealt with divorce, even though I remember I would be so upset, say, I want a divorce. But it's because I was hurting, because I wanted you in my life, and I wanted your love. It's not because I didn't love you. It's not because I didn't want to forgive all the things that I have experienced and I learned. It was because I'm like, I'm here, and I'm here, and I'm putting my hand out, my heart out, and he's still turning around the other way when he feels a form of, I don't know, pride, I don't know what it is, or pleasure, whatever, your love for someone else, or it's like I'm disposable in your life. So what is the purpose? And I hear you speak about elite, another agent walking by, and my genitals were just attacked. Usually when they talk loud, pale skins, as I'm on the camera and they walk by, they can't help themselves but perform some form of cannibalism, attack spiritually. I'm not saying that was them, possibly, but I say agent, because if they're not in natural law, and usually they talk loud and then they perform some form of cannibalism spiritually. That's what they do. Not all, but too many of them. Okay. Anyway, so I'm like, if what else can I do, Dwayne? That's all I can say. What else can I do? And so I have had many family members transition, and they're not in constitutional fold. Many. My son in Arrington-Bey transition. Imani's been attacked at night all the time, like it's nothing, and he's trying to stay strong. You know me. I told you my dreams I'm experiencing sharp pains constantly. Black Negro males implying that they're doing it, the females, whatever, in the pale skin and Spanish speaking, because they're trying to amalgamate and subjugate me to keep me from going to that next step of freedom, which that's what our nation's supposed to be representing and demonstrating. Our Moorish American nation and the laws of this land. The U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all 4 of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. I'm keeping my ring on until you give me a reply. And if you cannot continue this road with me, I am your spiritual wife, then you are free. I gave a request. I was like, well, first request, I said, I want you to be in my life, and then as of you being in my life, as I'm your spiritual wife, then you do the things as a husband would do. Maintain financially, spiritually, protection, the basics. But then if you don't want to do that, you don't want to honor that, then I said, well, you implied to want to compensate. Don't compensate me for the harm and my heart and the love that I have for you. Just give it to me as gifts. I don't want compensation for that, because you care. You care. But if you don't think that's honorable, then I just think it's, I'm not blackmailing you or any of that. I just think you should just it's okay. We go 2 separate ways. And don't worry. I don't think you would anyway. I don't know at this point. I don't know. Please answer this and then move forward.